कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनि इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी अशतदेशतारिणी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गिरधारी राधे जय राधा गिरधारी राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु जय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. बोलो श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीर वनचारी, यमुना तीर वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So last time we have seen till we are at chapter number 4 verse number 35. So last time we have seen till verse number 34, where we have seen the result of acting based on incorrect understanding, gradual disintegration of ISKCON. So people are thinking like that ISKCON people are not doing properly, they are just teaching some wrong things. It's not like that. ISKCON is philosophically very strong. Only things that can destroy us is disharmony amongst ourselves. So we devotees may not follow it properly. Sometimes we are doing some wrong things and people can understand that they are doing something wrong. Okay. So purpose of ISKCON is, instead of Krishna being center, we become center. Okay. So what are the different mistakes that we are doing? Instead of Krishna being center, we become center, competing with devotees to make disciples instead of delivering pure message. So our aim should be delivering the pure message given by Srila Prabhupada. We should read books of Srila Prabhupada books, and we should motivate others to read books of Srila Prabhupada. That is the right way of working. Instead of competing with others, making devotees, making disciples. Okay. Sometimes competition you can keep in terms of selling books. Okay. So that is the positive competition, you can say. Other people might follow what we are doing. Okay. So whatever you do wrong, right, other people will follow. So you have to act accordingly, because there are people following you, what ISKCON people are doing, what the devotees, how they are behaving. Okay. So all kinds of politics and cheating to maintain power or for personal glories. Okay. There are some incorrect things. Disrespect, disunity, uncomfortable talking to each other, etc. By acting in such a way that we will be displeasing entire parampara and jeopardizing their hard work. Okay. So our acharyas, our gurus, Srila Prabhupada, all these people have done a lot of hard work behind the ISKCON, that nowadays the entire world is following. Okay. So we have to act accordingly, we have to follow it properly, we have to spread the message properly. Whatever they have written in the book, their books, Srila Prabhupada books, the message given by Srila Prabhupada should be given to others in a proper manner. Okay. So in our disciplic succession, the message was given by original Lord Krishna, and the same message by our acharyas are given to us as it is. There is no change. Okay, so we should train the devotees to practice pure devotional service. So we should teach others practice for pure devotional service. Okay, so by doing all these things, we all can go home back to Godhead. That is the whole purpose of life. Get liberation, going home back to Godhead. Okay, then today we will see verse number 35. So verse number 35 of Transcendental Knowledge, result of obtaining Transcendental Knowledge. What is the result of obtaining Transcendental Knowledge? Never remain in illusion. See living entities as part of Lord. So every living entities are part and parcel of Supreme Lord. Okay, so never remain in illusion. See all living entities equally. Okay, so we will understand what is Maya and what is not Maya. Okay, so verse number 35, 4.35. Yajgyatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutani asheshani drakshasi atma anatho mayi. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mind. So what Lord is saying, that every living entity is equal. So you have to see all living entities with one eye, equally. You have to treat them equally. There is no differentiation. There should not be any differentiation. There should not be any other things, any comparison. They are different, something like that. Okay, so you have to treat each living entity equally. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada is telling here in the purport that what is Maya? What is Maya? So Ma, Ya. Ma means not, Ya means this. So this is not. So which is not, that is Maya. Which is not real, that is Maya. Okay, so whatever in Maya, whatever we are seeing, actually that is not. That is not reality. That is not real. Ma means not, Ya means this. So sense of an existence separate from Krishna is called Maya. So whatever is existing separate from Krishna is called Maya. Okay. Example of one in Maya, Arjuna's thoughts of temporary bodily conception. So standing in the battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna was thinking that they are my kinsmen, they are my father, they are my brother, they are my maternal uncle. All these relations were conceived by Arjuna. So Arjuna was thinking all about this. So this is called bodily relation. So Arjuna's thoughts of temporary bodily conception. So these actually there is no body, there is only soul, and no one can kill soul. That is the truth. That is the truth. And each and every soul has relation with supersoul. So how can one kill the soul? Because soul is directly related with supersoul. So soul cannot be killed. And soul cannot take birth also. Soul never gets disease, soul never gets old. So all these bodily changes are not it doesn't affect to soul. These are not, soul is not concerned with all these bodily changes. Okay, so Arjuna thoughts of temporary bodily conception. Okay, so what is bodily conception? To think oneself separate from Krishna under illusion. So if you are thinking that you are separate from Krishna, each and every living entity is part and parcel of Supreme Lord Krishna. So if you are thinking that I am separate from Krishna, I am my own, this is all things belongs to me, I don't have any relationship with Krishna, then you are in illusion. So if you are thinking like this, then you are in illusion. What is that illusion? Illusion is Maya. Ma means not, ya means this. This is not. So whatever is not is Maya. Whatever is not real is called Maya. So come under bodily conception and recognize with bodily relationships. So if you are in illusion, how one can identify that you are in illusion? If you are relating everything with bodily relation. Okay, that or my kinsmen, my family members, this is my money, and all these all comes under bodily conception. Okay, so how Mayavadi thinks? So here Srila Prabhupada tells how Mayavadi thinks. Thinks that we have nothing to do with Krishna. They think that Krishna is no one. We don't have any relationship with Krishna. Thinks that we have nothing to do with Krishna, who is just a great historical personality, and absolute is only the impersonal Brahman. So Krishna is only the impersonal Brahman. He incarnates in many incarnation as a Krishna, as a Narsimha, okay, as a Narayana, as a Varahadev. So many incarnations are there. So he has lost his existence. Although Krishna never lost his existence. Krishna is supreme. Krishna is supreme. Even he incarnates in this material world doesn't affect Krishna's body, Krishna. Because Krishna is a super soul. And this material world doesn't touch a super soul. Krishna is super soul. Okay, so this Maya has no effect on Krishna. Why? Because it is all material world, all spiritual world, everything emanates from Krishna. So Krishna has manifested all these things. And one day will come that Krishna will unmanifest. So this manifestation and unmanifestation is done by Krishna himself. So how one can affect Krishna? The thing which is incarnated, the thing which is manifested by Krishna himself, how that manifestation affect Krishna himself? This is not possible. So there are people or Mayavadis think that Krishna is no one. Krishna is like a absolute impersonal Brahman. So this is the wrong thinking, that Krishna lodges his own separate existence in his many expanses. This thought is totally material in nature. Material nature doesn't affect Krishna or Krishna's incarnation. Okay, so refutation of this impersonal Brahman is the effulgence of Krishna, given in Bhagavad Gita 4.27. Okay, so impersonal Brahman is the effulgence of Krishna only. Okay, so failure of Mayavadis, and they think wrongly that Krishna lodges his existence. So this is the failure of Mayavadis to understand the meaning of the absolute. They don't understand what is the meaning of absolute. Absolute means Supreme Lord Krishna. Absolute means supreme truth. Absolute means supreme proprietor. Absolute means supreme controller. So Krishna is supreme. Okay, so asam urdhva. Asam urdhva means there is no one equal to Krishna or above him. That is known as asam urdhva. There is no one equal to Krishna or above him. So there is no question of understanding that Krishna is the impersonal Brahman. Krishna lodges his existence. There is no question. But Mayavadi, so this is the failure of Mayavadis. They think that Krishna lodges his existence. Okay, so failure of Mayavadis to understand the meaning of the absolute. So they don't even understand the meaning of absolute. So how they can understand who is Krishna? So they are totally absorbed in bodily kind of relationship. How they can understand Krishna? So if you want to understand Krishna, you have to associate with devotees. You have to associate with Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. You have to hear about Bhagavatam. You have to hear about Bhagavad Gita from spiritual master, from devotees. Then only, slowly, not at once, slowly, you will be eligible to understand who is Krishna. So this is too easy, and that also not that much easy. Okay, so failure of Mayavadi is to understand the meaning of the absolute. Material understanding is that when a thing is fragmentally distributed, it loses its own original identity. But absolute truth means 1 plus 1 equal to 1 and 1 minus 1 equal to 1. So it never gets added, it's never subtracted. The absolute truth is absolute truth. Okay, it can incarnate into many, and many can become one. So one can become many, and many can become one. So one to many, many to one. One to many, many to one. So this is called absolute. If there is one Krishna and another Krishna is standing in front of you, it means what? 1 minus 1, but 1 minus 1 equal to 1. So Krishna is only one. Krishna is only one. Krishna never loses his identity. That's why Krishna is known as Krishna is supreme. He is supreme proprietor. He is supreme controller. Okay, he possesses all 5 opulences. He possesses all fame, all wealth. The entire wealth belongs to Krishna. He is the supreme enjoyer. Okay, so everything belongs to Krishna. So 1 plus 1 equal to 1 and 1 minus 1 also equal to 1. Okay, so the material mathematics doesn't apply over here. So this is the supreme mathematics. This is the supreme mathematics. So what does liberation, freedom from illusion mean? So how you can be liberated from material life? What is not illusion? What is not Maya? The absolute is not Maya. Knowing the supreme truth about absolute is not Maya. Okay, so if you are having knowledge about supreme truth, you will not get entangled into Maya. Okay, so liberation means to be situated in one's constitutional position as an eternal servitor of Krishna. So if you say that you are liberated, it means now you are standing with Krishna. You have got the shelter unto the lotus feet of Krishna. But how to get such pure knowledge? Only from bona fide spiritual master, only by associating with devotees, only surrendering unto Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So if you are following Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, if you are hearing to spiritual master, if you are following the instructions of spiritual master, if you are following the instructions of devotees, you are associating with devotees, you are serving Lord, then what is the result? One can learn all living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. All Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you have all these environment associating with devotees, hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, spiritual master, following the instructions of spiritual master, following the injunctions given in Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, then in this environment, what will be the result? You can understand that all living entities are nothing but part and parcel of Supreme Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the transcendental knowledge. This is the transcendental. For this transcendental knowledge, you have to struggle hard. So getting transcendental knowledge is not easy if you are associated with devotees. If you are following the instructions given by spiritual masters. What is the entire teaching of the Bhagavad Gita targeted towards? Living entity is an eternal servitor. Eternal servitor means right from birth. What is our duty? What is our activity? What should be our activity? What should be our action? To serve unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. That should be objective. Whatever activity I am doing it for Krishna. Don't expect any result. Don't expect any result. So whatever result you get, just offer it to Krishna. Okay, so Krishna will never take you from you. He will give you in the quantity of double. So don't worry about that. That Krishna will take my all my money, all my all effort, my all hard work. No. Krishna will give in return a lot. What you have to do? Whatever money, whatever profit, whatever action you do, the result of that, you just offer it to Krishna. So what is the entire teaching of Bhagavad Gita? Living entity is an eternal servitor of Supreme Lord Krishna. And living entity cannot be separated from Krishna at any point of time. This is the eternal truth. So we are all part and parcel of Krishna. We are not Krishna, but we are part and parcel of Krishna. We have the quality similar to Krishna, but in minute quantity. Why? Because all the opulences, the possessor of all the opulences is Supreme Lord Krishna. So Supreme Lord Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So he possesses all the opulences. Okay, so what should be your understanding? That we all living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. We are here to be enjoyed by Krishna. Whatever I am thinking, we should think for Krishna. Whatever I am doing, we should do it for Krishna. Whatever profit we get, we should offer it to Krishna. Okay, so if you find that Supreme Lord Krishna is taking your money, taking your profit, this is wrong thinking. He will never take anything from you. Okay, so what is the level of perfect knowledge? What is the level of perfect knowledge? Supreme Soul Krishna is the supreme shelter of all living beings. That is the right thinking. That is the right thinking. Supreme Soul Krishna is the supreme shelter of all living beings. Okay, so this is all about 4.35. That result of obtaining transcendental knowledge never remain in illusion. So if you have transcendental knowledge, means you are out of illusion. And what is the result? You will see all living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, so this is the transcendental knowledge. So now we will go for 4.36. Okay, so even most sinful of all sinners, when situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. However sinful person may be, but if he takes Krishna's name, does Hare Krishna Mahamantra, takes the shelter of devotee, takes the shelter of spiritual master, takes the shelter of Supreme Lord Krishna, he will be liberated, he will get transcendental knowledge automatically. So this material world is an ocean. So what should be our objective? Our objective should be cross over this material ocean. How? Just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this Mahamantra, only Mahamantra is sufficient to cross over this ocean. So this Mahamantra is like a boat. Like you need a boat to cross over the ocean. Similarly, this Mahamantra is like a boat. So if you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra following the 4 regulative principles. Okay, so what are the 4 regulative principles? Intoxication, illicit sex, meat eating, gambling. So you have to avoid all these 4 things. Don't involve, keep away from all these 4 things and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Avoid 4 things, follow the 4 regulative principles. What are the 4 regulative principles? Intoxication, no illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling. These 4 rules. Follow these 4 rules and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Whoever you may be, wherever you may be, in whatever situation you may be, you will be automatically getting transcendental knowledge to cross over the ocean. That is the purport given by Srila Prabhupada in verse number 4.36. 4.36. Api chetasi papebhya sarvebhya papakrittamah sarvam jnana plavenayava vrijanam santarishyasi. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. However sinful you may be. You may be born in a Chandal family, belong to Chandal family, but if you start taking Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you take the shelter of unto the feet of Supreme Lord Krishna, take the shelter of devotees, take the shelter of spiritual master. That spiritual master will become like a boat, and once you find boat, you can easily cross over the ocean. So these are boat, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, spiritual master, associating with devotee, following the instructions given by Guru, Sadhu and Sat. This is boat to cross over the material ocean. Okay, so even most sinful of sinners, when situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Transcendental knowledge directly from Krishna. So transcendental knowledge comes from spiritual word, and the knowledge which is coming from spiritual word is given directly by Krishna. Directly by Krishna, not even by disciplic succession. It is directly coming by Krishna. And the knowledge which we are getting from our spiritual master, from our devotees, from Shiksha Guru, from Diksha Guru, this is directly coming from Krishna by the disciplic succession. Okay. Knowledge about spiritual world. So what is transcendental knowledge? Knowledge about spiritual world. Proper understanding of one's constitutional position in relation to Krishna. So what is our actual constitutional position? Knowing the relationship with Krishna. Knowing the relationship with Krishna is actual transcendental relationship. Okay? So there is a spiritual world and material world. So these all the words are manifested by Krishna himself. So how can material world affect Krishna? Because this is manifested by Krishna himself. Okay. So one transcendental knowledge, only transcendental knowledge. So what is transcendental knowledge? Is like a boat, can lift one from the struggle for existence which goes on in the ocean of nescience. Okay. So ocean of nescience is known as ignorance. Severe struggle for existence. So what the people are doing in material world? They are trying to keep their identity in material world. I am director, I am producer, I am proprietor. I am the wealthiest person of, I am Ambani, like this. Okay, so this is thinking. This is all wrong thinking. So this thinking will, because of this thinking, you will entangle into the material world. Lot of suffering, only suffering. Only suffering, suffering, suffering. But people don't understand that if I have lot of money, I can survive. It is not like that. If you have lot of money but there is no food available, what you will eat? Can you eat money? It is not possible. Okay, so even you have a lot of money, you think that you can enjoy, that is material thinking. That is totally material thinking. That is pure material thinking, you can say. See, even an expert swimmer cannot swim across the ocean but has to be lifted out of the ocean by a suitable boat. So however specialist you will be in swimming, but if you are thrown into the middle of ocean, I am talking about middle of ocean, so however great swimmer you will be, you cannot cross over the ocean. You need a boat. You need a boat for that. Okay. Similarly, however wealthiest person you will be in material world, but if you want to cross that material ocean, you need a boat, and that boat is known as transcendental knowledge. So what is the transcendental knowledge? Knowledge about Krishna, knowledge about absolute truth is known as transcendental knowledge. Okay, so you can see in the picture, material world, there is a boat, and in that boat, Srila Prabhupada is there. Okay, so you can follow ISKCON, you can follow Srila Prabhupada, you can read Srila Prabhupada's books, you can follow the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada, and you can easily cross the ocean, material ocean, by this boat. Okay, so what are the different stages of reaction that we will discuss in 4.37. That is the transcendental knowledge 4.37. So by that knowledge of self and supersoul and their relationship, one burns all sinful reactions. So if you have transcendental knowledge, by that knowledge you can kill all the ignorance. You can kill all the doubts. If you have doubt, that doubt is nothing but demon, in the form of demon. So that demon can be killed by transcendental knowledge, can only be killed by transcendental knowledge. No one can kill. So if you have doubt, you can sit in front of spiritual master, you can sit in front of devotees, you can sit in front of the person who knows about Lord, who knows the supreme truth. So that knowledge will kill your doubt. Jnaninas tattva darshina. Jnaninas tattva darshina. Only self-realized soul can kill your doubt. So you have to associate with them. You have to hear them. And there are different lectures available on YouTube and all. So you can find one lecture, you can listen. So what you find that after listening those lectures, you will find a peace. So that peace will kill your doubt. Okay, in the form of transcendental knowledge. So 4.37. Yatha dhansi samigdhognir bhasmasat kurute arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. So as a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes. O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions to material activities. Okay, if you have knowledge, so that knowledge is representing like a fire, like in forest fire. Okay, the entire forest is turned into ashes. Similarly, if you have knowledge, so that knowledge is fire. So that with that knowledge you can kill all your doubt. You can kill all your ignorance. You can kill all your Mayavadi thinking. Okay, and you can easily cross over the material ocean by killing the doubt, Okay. So, in Padma Puran, it is rightly said, Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham kramenaiva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratamanam manam. Okay. So it is rightly said, for those who are engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all sinful reactions, whether fructified in the stalk or in the form of seed, gradually vanish. So whether it is fructified, so papa in the form of fructification, or it is in the beginning stage, in the seed stage, all can be killed. Okay, so if you are in ignorance, that is known as avidya. Okay, then that avidya becomes bij. Because of that ignorance, it becomes bij, because we are ignoring everything. So because of that ignorance, avidya, you entangled into sinful desires. That sinful desire is like a bij. Because of that bij, what happens? You start doing papa. So because of that papa, what happens? Sinful actions come. Okay? So, all your aprarabdha is collected. So what is aprarabdha? Unmanifest reactions. Unmanifested reactions is known as aprarabdha. And what is prarabdha? Manifested reactions. So whatever we are facing problems in our life, today life, that is known as prarabdha. People say that, oh, this is your prarabdha. It is all happening because of your prarabdha. So what is happening? Sinful reactions is known as prarabdha, and what is yet to happen is known as aprarabdha. So it is like there is a tank full of water and there is a tap down attached to the water tank. So water tank represents reservoir of water where it is full of water. Okay, so that is known as aprarabdha. Means it is there, it will happen. So if you open the tap, water starts coming out. So whatever water is coming out is known as prarabdha. So whatever sinful reactions we are facing, whatever problems we are facing in our life, today's life, is known as prarabdha. So whatever water is coming out of that tap is known as prarabdha. And whatever water is still there in the tank is known as aprarabdha. So after some time that will also come by the tap, through the tap. So the water which is there in the tank is known as aprarabdha, and the water which is currently coming out of the tap is known as prarabdha. So people say that whatever is happening, whatever suffering is coming, we are facing today, there is some problem with your prarabdha. So whatever papa we have done in our previous life or with in some time before, it may not react at the same time. There are some papa react simultaneously or after the action. But there are some papa reaction will come after some time, maybe in next life, maybe after 1 year, 2 years, in that way. Okay, so prarabdha, aprarabdha is unmanifest reaction, prarabdha is manifest reaction, and this comes in terms of suffering. Okay, so bija, papam, aprarabdha, and there is one more kutam, sinful disposition. Sinful disposition. So this is called cycle of appearance of desire and its reactions. So verse number 37 talks about, by that knowledge of self and super self and their relationship, one burns all sinful reactions. By that knowledge of self and supersoul and their relationship, one burns all sinful reactions. So, fire of knowledge, what is the job of fire of knowledge? Burns up all reactions of material activities. However sinful person you are, but if you start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, you associate with devotees, you follow the instructions given by spiritual master, you follow the scripture injunctions, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So this becomes transcendental knowledge. So transcendental knowledge is like a fire. So what is the job of fire? In forest fire, turns all the wood into ashes. And what is the transcendental knowledge as a fire? Burns all your reactions to material activities. What are the different types of reactions? Pious, dutiful acts, impious, sinful acts, priori from the earlier, posteriori from the later. So posteriori means from the later, priori means from the earlier. So these are the 4 stages of reaction, types of reaction. Okay, so pious, impious, priori, posterior, all the reactions are killed by fire of transcendental knowledge. Okay, reaction in making, reaction fructifying, reaction already achieved, reaction a priori. Okay, so these are the 4 stages of reactions. So transcendental knowledge is compared to fire. Like fire turns all wood, entire forest into ashes. Similarly, our transcendental knowledge works as fire and kills all your doubts and all your sinful or non-sinful reactions. Okay. Then comes 4.38, transcendental knowledge. Sublime, transcendental knowledge is sublime and pure, is the mature fruit of all mysticism. So whether you are doing mystic yoga, whether you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so transcendental knowledge is the result of all yoga, sacrifice, mysticism, tapa, yajna. So after all you get transcendental knowledge. And why we are getting transcendental knowledge? To cross over the ocean. To cross over the ocean. So that's what is mentioned in 4.38. So let us see what is 4.38. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddhi kalena atmane vindati. So in this world there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. And one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. Okay? So, however sinful person you may be, but whenever you start devotional service, after some time you get transcendental knowledge, you get realization by the association of spiritual master, association of devotees, following the instructions given by spiritual master, you get transcendental knowledge. Okay? So in this world there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. So transcendental knowledge is sublime and pure, and there is nothing so sublime and pure in this world as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. So if you start following the devotional service, after some time you will get transcendental knowledge, and by that transcendental knowledge you will enjoy. Okay, so in transcendental knowledge, what is transcendental knowledge? Serving unto the lotus feet of Krishna, associating with devotees, following the instructions given by spiritual master, following the instructions given by Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. This is transcendental knowledge. And transcendental knowledge works like fire. Like fire turns entire forest into ashes. Similarly, fire, transcendental knowledge as a fire burns all your doubts, burns all your sinful, non-sinful reactions. Okay, so 4.38. Ignorance is cause of bondage. We don't follow sincerely the pure devotional service. That's why we don't get transcendental knowledge. It means you are living in ignorance. So ignorance is cause of bondage. Transcendental knowledge is spiritual understanding. Transcendental knowledge is spiritual understanding. So transcendental knowledge is mature fruit of all mysticism. It is mature, a ripened fruit, sublime and pure. It is a mature fruit of all mysticism. It is sublime and pure, leads one to liberation. So if you have a transcendental knowledge, you know about the absolute truth, it will lead you to liberation. Okay, so person engaged in devotional service enjoys peace within himself. You start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you will feel peace in your heart. So Krishna is residing in your heart. If you start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Krishna will start dancing on your tongue. So when you start saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Krishna himself is dancing on your tongue with your chanting, with your word, when you say Hare Krishna, like that. Okay, so person engaged in devotional service enjoys peace within himself. So you will enjoy peace, such a peace that you cannot tell anyone else. Only you can tell that you just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you will also enjoy the rasa, mellow. Okay, so devotional service. So it's like a mature fruit, and when the fruit is mature, you get the transcendental knowledge. So person engaged in devotional service enjoys peace within himself. Such a person does not look for peace elsewhere. Once you start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you go to temple, you associate with devotees, you hear from the spiritual master, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, hear about Krishna. So there is a lot of enjoyment. There is a lot of enjoyment. You will feel peace within you. Right? And then you will never go to the club, Bollywood movie, Hollywood, Tollywood. There are so many movies. There are so many places of hell. So if you are going to watch a movie, it means you are going to hell. What knowledge you will get from after watching movie? What kind of knowledge? One comedy you can just laugh once. You chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy throughout your life. So Prabhupada used to say, the chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. So let's say once Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So just start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Whatever time you get, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this will change your complete life. There is no doubt about that. That's what we have learned from our disciplic succession, our spiritual master, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, by the association of devotees, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru. That's we are learning. You will also feel peace within you once you start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. That is the pure knowledge. That is the transcendental knowledge. So, what is the last word in Bhagavad Gita? Knowledge and peace. So, this knowledge and peace actually helps you to culminate in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so if you are searching for love outside, that is incomplete knowledge. Searching knowledge from Bollywood movie, from mundane books. There are so many books available, so many magazines available in the material world. It is of no use. If you are reading all these books, you are wasting your time. Okay, so you can get some knowledge for your job if it is required. For survival, survival is the fittest. For your survival, you can do it, but side by side, you do Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that chanting will purify your material life. You will be there in material life, you will be enjoying in material life. People will see that he is enjoying in material life. So how he is a devotee? He is from ISKCON, but how he is there in material life, he is enjoying. But that enjoyment, that material enjoyment will not touch you. You will be there laughing, but inside Krishna is there, who will protect you to get entangled into material world. That is the beauty. And that is the job of Krishna. If you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it means you are a devotee. You are a devotee means you have devoted your life to Krishna. You have surrendered yourself unto the lotus feet of Krishna. That is the beauty. Okay, so that is about 4.38. Nahi jnanena sadrisam pavitram iha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddhi kale natmani vindati. With this we'll stop. If you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll stop. Okay, no question, so we'll stop over here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. हरे कृष्ण.